Good afternoon. Committee will come to order. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Subcommittee's second public witness hearing. This afternoon, the Subcommittee will be hearing from a cross-section of individuals representing a wide variety of issues addressed by this Subcommittee. The Chair will call each panel of witnesses to the table, one panel at a time. Each witness will be provided up to 5 minutes to present their testimony. We'll be using a timer to track the progress of each witness, and then the button turns yellow. The witness will have 1 minute remaining to conclude his or her remarks. And if you want to speak less, that's great with me and the rest of the panel. Members will have an opportunity to ask questions to the witnesses, but in the interest of time, the Chair requests that we try to keep things moving to stay on schedule. The next panel, Mr. Tom Fritts, with the board member of the National Onsite Wastewater Recycling Association. If you could sit over here on the right, Mr. Fritts, and then Ms. Sheila Sahandi, Executive Director of the Puget Sound Partnership. We have Norm Dix Ghost is sitting with us today. Of course, Norm's still with us. I guess I should say Ghost. Yeah.
Have you heard something I didn't?
Yeah. I'll be getting a call this afternoon. Sorry, Norm. Dr. Sharon B. Mingdao, President, National Institute of Water Resources, and Dr. Robert Grope, Chairman of the USGS Coalition. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
As you know, we're operating under the 5-minute rule, so please, when it's green, please give testimony. When it's yellow, please finish up, and red, we're done. So with that, Mr. Fritts, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Congresswoman, Congressmen, distinguished members of the committee, my name is Tom Fritts. I'm Vice President of Residential Sewage Treatment Company in Grandview, Missouri, near Kansas City. I'm also the past president of the National Onsite Wastewater Recycling Association, or NOWRA, and I'm honored to speak to you today on behalf of the onsite wastewater industry. The onsite industry is a growing and evolving industry supported by small businesses across the country. In my lifetime, I've seen the humble backyard septic tank evolve into a range of sophisticated wastewater treatment solutions that lets families live wherever they want and lets businesses locate nearby to serve them. In all cases, these systems can be built and maintained for less money than sewers and better protect the public health. Another very important benefit, they safely help replenish our dwindling underground aquifers through recharge of treated water on site. Nearly 85 million Americans, more than 25% of the country, are being served by the on-site industry, and that number is growing. Because of this, the technology has exploded. It sometimes reminds me of the computer industry of 30 years ago. Nearly 2 decades ago, the EPA endorsed on-site wastewater systems. Their 1997 report to Congress on use of decentralized wastewater treatment systems stated that this technology is a viable solution to treating and dispersing wastewater. My father-in-law, who started the family business over 65 years ago and is now in the 3rd generation, would talk about installers who would dig septic tank excavations with a shovel. Most anyone with a strong back could be in the business then, but today it takes someone with a strong mind, an entrepreneurial spirit, and a knack for running a small business. 25% of the wastewater needs of this country are being sold, installed, and maintained by small business. In fact, our industry is estimated to be responsible for as many as 150,000 small business jobs. I know that Congressman Cole, as an enrolled member of the Chickasaw Nation, is committed to serving the Native Americans living in Oklahoma and all across this great nation. The on-site industry can increase tribal economic development. NOWRA is proud to have recently trained more than 300 tribal community professionals through Rose State College in Oklahoma. We trained them on septic systems and how to run a septic system business. Congressman Calvert, as a lifelong resident of Riverside County, you are experiencing firsthand the dire issues of water depletion from your aquifers. On-site systems, such as septic tanks, treat wastewater and then disperse it back into the soil where it recharges the aquifers with treated water. Most of the water from municipal treatment plants ends up in rivers where it flows to the ocean or the Gulf and becomes salt water. Using U.S. Census numbers of 2010, it's estimated that on-site wastewater systems discharge an average of 9.9 billion gallons of water back to the soil on a daily basis. That's 3.5 trillion gallons per year. If I've convinced you that we are an important part of the solution to aquifer depletion, to small business growth, and to infrastructure development, I'm sure you're curious to hear how much money we want. We don't want any. At least we don't want any new money.
I think he gets the record.
We do have two requests. Currently, more than 99% of the EPA Clean Water State Revolving Fund goes to municipal wastewater projects. Less than 1% goes to the on-site wastewater projects. We would like at least 20% of those funds dedicated to serve the 85 million taxpayers who use on-site systems on a daily basis. Secondly, EPA has exactly one full-time employee in the Office of Decentralized Wastewater. We'd like to see at least 20% of the Office of Wastewater's funding be dedicated to increasing staffing and resources for the Office of Decentralized Wastewater. On behalf of the National On-Site Wastewater Recycling Association and the on-site industry, we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Fritts, you know, back in California, we don't refer to wastewater. We take that out of our vocabulary. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the largest reclamation project in the United States is in Orange County, California, where we take waste, what was wastewater, and we reclaim that water and re-inject it, and over time it is repumped up and used.
Exactly.
Because
It's very
we
important.
can't.
Toilet to tap.
Well, we don't call it that. We call it a larger recirculation system. We don't. We take water from Idaho and use it several times. Ms. McCollum?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I learned a lot about on-site, and I think we need to do a lot about East Coast, West Coast, and the Great Lakes. We need to protect our coastal areas and our largest supply of fresh water, and we will be judged by generations as to how we stood up to this. Deb Schwackheimer is just a real favorite, so thank you for giving the University of Minnesota a shout out. I went to the USGS, and it's just amazing all the work that's going on in there. And when there was a big problem in White Bear Lake losing water, it was a calm, cool, scientific-based group that kind of came in and found out what was going on, laid out the options, and then walked away and said, okay, you have all the data, you have all the facts, now you figure it out, because they don't do the regulatory. And I think there's things like that that are happening every single day that the USGS is involved in, and we don't know about it, and they're not getting the credit for it, so thank you for being here and speaking up for them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Simpson?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around toilet to tap.
Well, I'll just kind of move on.